It's day 4 of the Startup Entrepreneur Tour. 6 of us are in the RV, 35 states, 10,000 miles all across the country. We already went to Palmdale. It was about 300 people there. Then we went to Bakersfield, 300 something people there. Ventura, 300 something people there. Now we're off to, just got done visiting Rich Dad, Poor Dad headquarters. Spent a couple hours with Robert Kiyosaki. Great time, great conversation. That interview will be coming out here soon. I'll put the link on the bottom when it comes out. And we are now off to New Mexico. And all we're talking about is why to become an entrepreneur. That's what it's been all about for the last 4 days. And we got 26 more days to go. Got my buddy here, Mario, working, team, driving. One of our drivers back here is getting some R&R before his turn comes. But anyways, let me. One of the conversations that came up, Mar, if you want to hold this, one of the conversations that came up on the tour was why to become an entrepreneur. And a lot of times we talk about the common reasons of why to become an entrepreneur, but I think the deeper reasons are the real reasons why I believe everybody ought to become an entrepreneur, whether it's 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, 40 hours a week, or if you want to be a serial entrepreneur running businesses nationwide, international, traveling, influencing, all that stuff, that's fine. But I believe 100% of people ought to become entrepreneurs. So the common reasons we constantly hear about, the common reasons, what are the common reasons? You ought to become an entrepreneur because you will have tax benefits. True, it's a lot of tax benefits. There needs to be tax incentives. The reason why there's tax incentives, when some people say, you know, entrepreneurs have all these tax incentives, they ought to have tax incentives. Because if there's not an incentive to start a business, then people won't start businesses. And if we don't start businesses, then we don't have jobs. So there's got to be tax incentives for people who start businesses. That's why there's tax incentives. Some people will say it's travel. I've had a luxury of traveling all over the world, and as becoming an entrepreneur, I've been all over the world. Croatia, Santorini, Athens, Macedonia, Venice, Italy, Guatemala, Jalisco, Nayarit, Puerto Vallarta, Kona, Kauai, Maui, St. Martin, Caribbean, Cayman Islands, Portugal, Spain, NASCAR races, Disney World, Kentucky Derby, Super Bowl, Pebble Beach. We're going to Dubai in a couple weeks. We just got back from St. Regis, Aspen. We were in Tuscany, Italy, we stayed at Cinque Terre, all over the place. You get to travel a lot, and it's absolutely a big part of it. Some say for retirement, I want to have a lot of money in savings. I don't have a lot of money. Great, that's a common reason. Some say quality time with family. Great point. Some people want to run a business with family. Some don't want to run a business with family. Some want to run a business and build something with their wife because they don't want to have wife doing one job and husband doing another job. They want to both be building something together, right? Some say, I want to become an entrepreneur because I want a nice car. No problem. You ought to get the nice cars. They build them to have the nice cars. Some say, I want to become an entrepreneur because I want nice watches, nice jewelry. I want to live in a big house. I want to put big parties together, big, celebrity parties together, private parties like Gatsby did, and invite, 500 people and put the most incredible, luxurious parties together. No problem. It's another reason to become an entrepreneur. I want to be in charge of my life, control my life, make as much money as I want to make. Great. All of that is great. But I don't think those are the most important reasons why you ought to become an entrepreneur. I will give you the deeper reasons why we ought to become entrepreneurs. You see, you ever heard the saying where people say, when you swim, you know how you go and lift weights and I used to be a bodybuilder, so when you're lifting weights and you're competing, you build your body, legs, calves, shoulders, traps, chest, whatever. But then they say, swimming develops certain muscles that no other weight or machine can ever develop. Swimming, just swimming alone. You can't go to the gym and develop the muscle a swimmer develops. If you look at the body of a bodybuilder, and if you look at the body of Michael Phelps, a swimmer, it's complete different. A bodybuilder's body will never develop like a body of a swimmer because a swimmer's body is developing certain muscles that the bodybuilder is never touching. So what does that have to do with anything? Well, when you become an entrepreneur, you develop a certain muscles that you never thought you had. You will never know that muscle unless you become an entrepreneur. It's when you become one, you say, I couldn't believe I'm good at this. I can't believe I'm so good at leading people. I'm so good at solving issues. I'm so good at multitasking. And some people have a hard time with that. I'm so good at not panicking when crisis happens. I'm so good at being calm. I never knew I could do this. I never knew I could, be so good at teaching people. I never thought I was a good teacher. I never thought I was a good leader. You learn certain things that the industry, the skill of becoming an entrepreneur does. But here's the deeper reasons. See, think about happiness. Everybody in the world, whatever activity we do, doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Chinese, Middle Eastern, tall, short, skinny, it doesn't matter what, educated, uneducated, you like the Lakers, you like the Clippers, it's irrelevant. Every single body does every single thing with the purpose of having a final product, which is to become happy. We all do everything to become happy. We want to be happy. We want to live a fulfilling life. We want to be fulfilled. We want to live a meaningful life. And a lot of times, people seek happiness through temporary highs. That temporary highs have many different names for it. It could be alcohol. It could be drugs. And we have many forms of drugs. And, a pot. It could be ecstasy. It could be cocaine. It could be, they're all over the place. There's so many of them. People think, hey, if I use this, I'm going to be happy. But to me, the most important part about happiness is the lifespan of that high. The lifespan of that high. How long does a high last? And the longest lifespan of highs are natural highs. So what makes us happy? Think about this. You ever babysat somebody before? I don't know if you have. I have babysat somebody. For about the first 15, 20 minutes, you're just having so much fun. This kid is so cute. This kid is so great. And then all of a sudden, what happens to the kid? The kid poops. And then we say, I don't want to babysit this kid anymore, right? And we give it away, and we say, here you go, the kid's coming back to you. Have you ever taken care of your own kid? Think about this for a second. What happens when our kids poop? No problem. What happens when your kids do whatever they do? No problem. Why do we get married and have kids and build a family? Because creating is very important to us. When we create, it produces happiness, fulfillment, and a possibility of living a meaningful life. Every parent wants their kids to one day say, my mother changed my life, my father changed my life, because it's important to us to live a meaningful life and a fulfilled life by leaving a legacy to our. It's important to us. And if you look at anybody that's bitter, not happy, you will usually see somebody that's no longer creating, no longer producing, no longer making something. We like finishing puzzles because we created the puzzle. I saw a TEDx video sent by a friend the other day about the man talking about how we like to produce and make things at IKEA, because we like to go to IKEA and buy IKEA products because we make the product. And 176 pieces, you sit there, and by the time the product's over with, you say, oh my goodness, this was incredible. You feel good. I built that furniture. I built that cabinet. I built that bed. It feels good when we create. When you and I create, we feel good. We feel very, very good every time we create something. The second thing that's very important to us that has to do with entrepreneurship is community. We have a need for community. Community is very important to us. If you think about Facebook, if you think about Twitter, if you think about Instagram, Snapchat, if you think about any YouTube, any one of these things, the reason why people get this endorphins, this high, is because we belong to a community. Let me check my phone to see who liked my page. Let me check my phone to see how many Instagram likes I got. Well, let me check my phone to see Mary, what comments she posted, because it's a community, because we need to belong to a community. When you build a family, you get married, you have two families that come together. It's a community. Kids typically tend to bring grandparents together. Think about how many times grandparents who used to be married for many years, they got a divorce and they haven't spoken for 20 years, and then boom, there's a grandchild, everybody comes together. So creating a child brings the community back together. And the last one is the sense of ownership. Sense of ownership to us is very important. We have to own things. We like to own homes. We like to own our car. We say, that's my lawn, that's my house, that's my car, that's my family, that's my son, that's my child, that's my that's mine. I created it. We have to have a sense of ownership. And when you become an entrepreneur, as great as the common reasons are, and that's great, as phenomenal as the common reasons are on all the tax, freedom, money, great, the deeper reasons that lead to the emotion we all want of happiness, fulfillment, and a meaningful life comes when we create, when we're part of a community of other entrepreneurs that are also creating jobs, creating a product, producing something that's providing value for someone else that they're willing to pay for. And you have a sense of ownership. When you're an entrepreneur, you own a part of the business, you own the company, you and other people own this thing, we built it together. That's one of the most incredible natural highs that has the longest possibility of the longest lifespan outside of family. When you build a community, when you build a business, when you create something. So, you know, the message, every single city we're going to, people are coming up to us and saying, I've never thought about entrepreneurship that way before. I've never thought about why I ought to become an entrepreneur and create something. You know, I've been a little bit bitter lately. I've been a little bit unhappy lately. And I notice I'm not creating anything. And I say, go out there and become an entrepreneur, create something. And it resonates. So I challenge you, if you're already an entrepreneur, great. Keep creating more, keep producing more. Keep expanding your community, but also inspire other people to also do the same. And if you're somebody that's watching this and you're saying, you know, I haven't been happy lately, go try creating something and look what'll happen. Go try getting involved with the community and look what'll happen. Go start a business with somebody. Get involved with a community of business owners, entrepreneurs. Join their ventures. Get involved with their businesses. Not only will you grow a lot, but all of a sudden you'll hear a lot of your friends and family saying, you've changed. It sounds like you joined something. It's like you're almost like too happy. What happened to you? No, you're finally experiencing happiness, fulfillment, and a meaningful life. That's why everybody ought to become an entrepreneur. Anyways, I'm going to let you go because I need to see if the driver's falling asleep or not on us here before we get to New Mexico. So if you got thoughts, questions, comment on the bottom. If not, be sure to subscribe to this channel. And visit my website if you haven't visited my new website, www.patrickbetdavid.com. It's my message of the week to you. Take care. Talk to you soon.